So today we are going to start our first lecture of syllabus point of view, pharmaceutical analysis 1, that is redox titration. Now what is the meaning of the word titration? That means one of the titer we are going to titrate with another reagent which is filled in the burette. So this type of reaction with the help of solution which is there in the conical flask, one solution in the conical flask, another in the burette, either in the presence or absence of indicator we are going to carry out this reaction. So this is nothing but the word titration. Now there are so many types of titrations: aqueous titration, non-aqueous titration, precipitation type of titration, and our very interesting point of today's lecture is redox titration. Now the word itself suggests us that redox belongs to oxidation and reduction reaction. It is happening simultaneously in this type of reactions. So reduction and oxidation happening simultaneously means एकाच रिॲक्शन मिक्सर मध्ये एखादा रिएजंट स्वतःला रिड्यूस करतो आणि स्वतःला रिड्यूस करत असताना तो दुसऱ्या सोल्युशनचं ऑक्सिडेशन करतो. अशा टाइपच्या टायट्रेशनला किंवा अशा टाइपच्या रिॲक्शन्सला काय म्हणलं जातं? रेडॉक्स टायट्रेशन. सो विल प्रोसीड फर्दर. What is the meaning of the word reduction? What is the meaning of the word oxidation? That we'll see. Now, in the redox type of reaction, the oxidation and reduction processes take place simultaneously in a reaction. एकाच वेळी, as I talked with you earlier, oxidation and reduction taking place simultaneously in a reaction. Thus, one entity get reduced, one of the reagent which is there in the titration is get reduced, and in the process of oxidizing second one. So one which is reduced and another one which will be oxidized. This combined word of reduction and oxidation is known as redox titration. So it is abbreviated form of reduction and oxidation. So it is abbreviated form of reduction and oxidation. In the oxidation reduction method, the analysis of change is valence of the reacting product is most, which is contrary to the precipitation and titration. See here, when we are going to do the redox type of reactions, we can come to know that which reagent is reduced actually, and with reducing itself, how it is oxidizing other type of reagent. Now some of the type of titrations here I have enlisted. Those are potassium permanganate as an oxidizing agent, potassium dichromate as an oxidizing agent, and ferric sulfate as an oxidizing agent. So these are nothing but the redox reagents, redox agents which are carried out the redox type of titrations. Now we are going to discuss the theory behind oxidation and reduction type of reaction. As a number of elements are capable of exhibiting more than one oxidation state. There are elements, आपल्या इथे available असे elements आहेत की जे एकापेक्षा जास्त ऑक्सिडाइज्ड स्टेट एन्काउंटर करू शकतात किंवा अवेलेबल करू शकतात. तो हियन्स व्हॉल्यूमेट्रिक टायट्रेशन methods based upon redox reactions are usually employed widely. म्हणजे एखादा रिएजंट दॅट पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट असेल, पोटॅशियम परमॅंगनेट असेल, ते एकापेक्षा जास्त ऑक्सिडाइज्ड स्टेट किंवा रिड्यूस्ड स्टेट अचीव करू शकतात, अवेलेबल करून देऊ शकतात, किंवा एकच रिएजंट 3 ते 4 वेळा रिड्यूस किंवा ऑक्सिडाइज होऊ शकतो. म्हणून बाकी टाइपच्या टायट्रेशन पेक्षा दिस टाइप ऑफ टायट्रेशन इज युज्ड वर्ल्ड वाईड किंवा यांचे ऍप्लिकेशन्स जास्त आहेत. Now, before we are going to move towards actual redox type of reaction, the phenomenon of oxidation. Oxidation means what actually? What is the meaning of the word oxidation? Now, you have already learned about these terms, just we will revise them. What is oxidation? It is nothing but the addition of oxygen. Now, in the case of sulfur dioxide, if there is addition of one of the one of the oxygen, nascent oxygen, so the sulfur dioxide is converted into sulfur trioxide. Oxidation is nothing but removal of hydrogen also. So when we are going to remove the hydrogen, And so here the hydrogen disulfide with the addition of oxygen, there is formation of water molecule. So here there will be, this is also an oxidation reaction, addition of oxygen happening here. And the third mechanism of oxidation is nothing but enhancement in the ratio of electronegative to the electropositive portion of the molecule. See, reactionच्या left hand side ला electron negative किंवा reactants are electronegative in nature. But when we are going to increase the electropositivity towards the right side of the reaction, these type of reactions are also known as oxidation reactions. See here, what are the terminologies related to oxidation? Addition of oxygen, removal of hydrogen, and third and very important one is decreasing in the electronegativity and increasing in the electropositivity is nothing but the oxidation. Now in the same manner, opposite to that of oxidation, the reduction parameters reduction will be happening. In the same way, the process of reduction may be explained as below. What is reduction? Opposite to that of oxidation, addition of hydrogen. See, the removal of hydrogen is nothing but oxidation. So addition of hydrogen is nothing but reduction. So addition of hydrogen, that means conversion of ethene to ethane is nothing but the oxidation. That's it is nothing but the reduction. As we are going to add the hydrogen, that is conversion of ethene to ethane is a reaction of reduction type of reaction. Now the next example of reduction is removal of oxygen. See here, cupric oxide with the help of hydrogen, that is addition of hydrogen and removal of oxygen taken place simultaneously in the reaction. See here, cupric oxide is converted into an elemental copper and there is formation of an water molecule. So removal of oxygen, addition of hydrogen, and third and very important point is enhancement in the ratio of electropositive to the electronegative portion to the molecule. So here there is increasing in the electronegativity than the electropositivity of the molecule. Then these type of phenomena, these type of process are known as reduction reaction. Now we are interested in redox reaction. What is redox? It is a reduction if in reaction, any chemical reaction, reduction and oxidation हे दोन्ही जर एकाच वेळी सायमल्टेनियस प्रोसिजरला जर घडत असतील तर त्या रिॲक्शन्सना, त्या प्रोसिजर्सना, त्या टायट्रेशन्सना कसले टायट्रेशन म्हणतात? रेडॉक्स टायट्रेशन. Now it is quite evident that the above cited examples that are reduction did not always imply a reaction involving hydrogen. Now some of the reducing agents are, what is the meaning of the word reducing agent? आता reduction म्हणजे काय आणि oxidation म्हणजे काय आपण आताच बघितलं. What is reduction? Addition of hydrogen, removal of oxygen, increasing in the electronegativity is known as reduction. Now some of the examples of reducing agent. Reducing agent is the reactant that loses electrons in the oxidoreductive reaction. असा agent की जो it is a reagent which loses electron in the redox reaction. So the agent which will loses the electron during redox reaction, those agents are known as reducing agent. Thus the reactant containing an constituent atom or atoms are converted to the higher state of oxidation, and oxidizing agent is the reactant that get electrons in an oxidation reduction reaction. So the conversion of what is a reducing agent? It is the reactant which loses electron. अशा agents ना म्हणतात reducing agent. Oxidizing agent की which will gains the electron. See here, due to the gain of electron, there is conversion of Ce3 plus. Now, thus the reactant containing the constituent atom or atoms are converted to the lower state of oxidation. So these are nothing but the reducing agents and oxidizing agents. So what we have discussed up till now, we have discussed a process of reduction, a process of oxidation, and a process of and the terminologies, those are losing the electrons are known as reducing agent and gaining the electrons are known as oxidizing agent. So now we are moving towards the actual classification of redox type of titrations. Now in your syllabus, they have given that just introductory part of concept of oxidation and reduction, and then they are going to discuss actual types of redox titration. Now the types of redox titrations are basically types of redox titrations are serimetry, iodimetry, iodometry. Just take the screenshot of the same. Types of redox titrations are serimetry, iodimetry, iodometry, bromatometry, dichromometry, and last but not the least, titration by using potassium iodide solution. So these type of metries are covered under the category of redox titration. Now, from which basis these types are given? Depending upon that, which type of oxidizing किंवा reducing agent is used in these type of reactions, त्यांच्या नावावरून हे सगळे nomenclature पडलेलं आहे. Serimetry belongs to cerium sulfate. Iodimetry belongs to iodine. Iodometry belongs to potassium iodide किंवा iodate. Then bromometry, potassium bromide. Dichromometry, potassium dichromate solution. And last will be when we are going to use a potassium iodide solution in the reaction mixture to carry out a redox type of titration. Now we are moving towards the first type of titration, in which there is use of cerium sulfate in the solution. Now the use of cerium sulfate is nothing but which type of titration? Serimetry type of titration. In case of serimetry, we are going to use cerium sulfate solution as an oxidizing agent. That's why this type of redox reaction is known as cerium sulfate solution. Now, what is cerium sulfate? It is a powerful oxidizing agent. What is cerium sulfate? It is actually an powerful oxidizing agent, and its reduction potential is 0.524 with that of sulfuric acid. It is used only in the acidic solution. So see the limitation of the ceric sulfate. There is limitation of the ceric sulfate is that it must be used in the acidic solution. As the solution is neutralized, the cerium hydroxide or the basic salt will be precipitate out. जर आपण acidic solution मध्ये ही reaction केली नाही तर cerium sulfate deteriorate होतं किंवा cerium sulfate चं dissociation होतं. मग cerium sulfate जर आपल्याला व्यवस्थितरित्या oxidizing agent म्हणून जर use करायचं असेल, so we have to carry out this type of oxidation reaction in which type of media? Acidic media. Fill in the blanks ना किंवा MCQ type questions मध्ये विचारलं जाऊ शकतो. Which type of reagent किंवा which type of reaction media is required for the reaction of cerium sulfate? It is the answer for that is acidic media. Now the solution has an intense yellow color and it is which are not to the dilute endpoints which is detected with an indicator. So with what type of endpoint will be produced? Intense yellow color is the endpoint produced when we are going to use cerium sulfate as an oxidizing agent. Now, what are the advantages why we are going to use cerium sulfate as an oxidizing agent? Cerium sulfate solutions are remarkably stable over a prolonged period of time. So they have stability. There is no any issue for the stability. Cerium sulfate solutions आपण हे टाइपच्या solutions as an oxidizing किंवा reducing agent वापरणार असू तर ते आपण prolonged period of time साठी store करू शकतो. They need not be protected from the light. So there is no any storage parameter किंवा storage instructions are there. They need not be protected from the light and may even be boiled for a short time without appreciable change in the concentration. म्हणजे आपल्याला जर सोल्युशन बॉईल करायचं असेल किंवा एखाद्या रेडॉक्स रिएक्शन मध्ये बॉइलिंग करायचं असेल त्यावेळी आपण cerium sulfate as an oxidizing agent prefer करू शकतो. Then Next advantage of using cerium sulfate is cerium sulfate may be employed in the determination of reducing agent in the presence of high concentration of hydrochloric acid. See, एखाद्या रिॲक्शन मध्ये जर हायड्रोक्लोरिक ऍसिडचा यूज असेल, बाकीचे जे काही ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट्स आहेत ते हायड्रोक्लोरिक ऍसिडमध्ये डिटोरिएट होतात, कारण हायड्रोक्लोरिक ऍसिड हे खूप स्ट्रॉंग ऍसिड आहे. पण सेरियम सल्फेट हा असा ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट आहे की in the presence of hydrochloric acid also cerium sulfate can be act as a oxidizing agent. Then cerium solutions in 0.1 molar solutions are not too highly colored to the obstruct vision when reading the meniscus in the burette and other titrimetric methods. ज्यावेळी आपण बाकीचे ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट्स वापरू, जसं की पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट आहे, पोटॅशियम परमॅंगनेट आहे, दे आर गोइंग टू गिव्ह व्हेरी इंटेन्स कलर, आणि त्यांच्या त्या इंटेन्स कलरमुळं आपण ब्युरेट रिडिंग व्यवस्थित मेजर करू शकत नाही. बट दिस इज नॉट द प्रॉब्लेम विथ दी cerium sulfate solution. We can measure the burette reading very easily. We can easily determine the what type of reading will be there. So these are the advantages. And the last advantage is in the reaction of cerium salt in acid solution with a reducing agent, the simple change will happen. Ce+4 will be converted into Ce+3. So this is an immediate reaction, simple reaction when cerium sulfate is used as an oxidizing agent. So what are the advantages? They may ask for the 2 marks. Short note question. Advantages behind use of cerium sulfate as an oxidizing agent. What are the advantages? We can use this. There is no any storage condition. We can use cerium sulfate for prolonged period of time. Cerium sulfate may be employed in the presence of hydrochloric acid also, as it is not too highly colored, so there is no any issue with the measurement of burette reading. And last, it is this reaction, this type of reaction is very simple, conversion of Ce+4 to Ce+3. So these are some of the advantages over the permanganometry, dichromometry, iodometry, iodimetry. So this is a preferable use of oxidizing agent as compared to the other types of redox reactions. Now, a solution of cerium sulfate in dilute sulfuric acid are stable even at boiling temperature also. Now, the hydrochloric acid solution of salt are unstable because of the reductions. See, when cerium sulfate is used in the sulfuric acid, it is stable. We can use cerium sulfate along with hydrochloric acid also, but prolonged जास्त वेळची जर रिॲक्शन असेल किंवा खूप वेळ जर ती रिॲक्शन चालणार असेल, that time we will not prefer the use of cerium sulfate as an oxidizing agent, because there will be a deterioration of the hydrochloric acid solution, or the salts are of unstable solution of by acid with a simultaneous liberation of chlorine. कारण त्या रिॲक्शन मधून काय लिबरेट होतो? क्लोरीन गॅस लिबरेट होतो, which is toxic to the toxic to us. That's why we will not going to prefer the use of cerium sulfate during hydrochloric acid. We can use, the reaction will proceed, but या रिॲक्शनचा जो काही एंड पॉइंट आहे किंवा बाय प्रोडक्ट आहे तो काय आहे? क्लोरीन गॅस आहे की जो टॉक्सिक आहे. This reaction takes place quite rapidly on boiling, and hence hydrochloric acid cannot be used in the oxidation. So these are the some of the advantageous and disadvantageous points of use of ceric sulfate as an oxidizing agent. So this is nothing but the cerimetry type of reaction. Now the next type of our redox type of titration is dichromometry. What is the meaning of the word dichromometry? Dichromometry means when we are going to use oxidizing agent as an potassium dichromate. Use of potassium dichromate as an oxidizing agent is nothing but the dichromometry. Now, potassium dichromate is not such a powerful oxidizing agent as potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate is very strong oxidizing agent, but potassium dichromate is not that much ऑक्सिडायझिंग, इट इज ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट, पण त्याची इंटेन्सिटी पोटॅशियम परमॅंगनेट पेक्षा कमी आहे. सी, पोटॅशियम परमॅंगनेट म्हणजे काय, KMnO4. पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट म्हणजे काय, हे तुम्हाला माहितीच असेल. पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट म्हणजे काय, K2Cr2O7. मग पोटॅशियम परमॅंगनेट हा स्ट्रॉंग ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट आहे कुणापेक्षा, पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट पेक्षा. बट पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट इज ऑल्सो an oxidizing agent, but it is not too much powerful, but it has several advantages over the latter substances. It can be obtained pure, it is settled up to its fusion point, and it is therefore an excellent primary standard. Potassium dichromate can be used as an primary standard. I think you have studied this use of meaning of the word primary standards, secondary standards. What is the meaning of the word standard solutions? So potassium dichromate can be used as an excellent primary standard solution of exactly known concentration, can be prepared by weighing out the pure dry salt of potassium dichromate solution. Now the aqueous solutions are stable indefinitely if adequately protected from the evaporation. There is some of the issue with the potassium dichromate. जर पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेटला आपल्याला व्यवस्थित किंवा as it is we have to store them, so we have to protect them from the evaporation. Rest of the issue, no any issue with the potassium dichromate. Potassium dichromate is used only in the acidic solution, and it is reduced rapidly at the ordinary temperature to green chromium salt. See, it is used in the acidic solution only, same as like that of सेरियम सल्फेट सोल्युशन. सेरियम सल्फेट सोल्युशनच्याच प्रमाणे पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट सुद्धा कुठल्या मीडियामध्ये जास्त ऍक्टिव्ह आहे, इट इज युज्ड इन दी ऍसिडिक मीडिया. So it is not reduced by cold hydrochloric acid provided the acid concentration does not exceed 1 or 2 molar. If we are going to use hydrochloric acid by using dichromometry as an titration किंवा पोटॅशियम डायक्रोमेट म्हणून आपण जर ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट त्या रिॲक्शन मध्ये वापरत असू, that time we have to take attention, we have to pay attention towards there is no any use of hydrochloric acid beyond 1 to 2 molar. Dichromate solutions are less easily reduced by organic matter than are low those of the permanganate. So dichromate solutions are unable to oxidize organic matter. Potassium dichromate is therefore of particular value in the determination of iron. If we are going to determine the concentration of iron, that time potassium dichromate is used as an oxidizing agent. So one of the application of potassium dichromate is determination of concentration of iron in the iron ore. So this is a reaction when we are going to determine the concentration of iron, potassium dichromate plus iron, and use of 15 hydrogen, that is as it is redox type of reaction. So in the acidic solution, the reduction of potassium dichromate may be represented as, first potassium dichromate is reduced itself, and then it is used as an oxidizing agent. So the green color due to the formation of chromium ions in this reaction mixture, which is formed by the reduction of potassium dichromate, make it impossible to ascertain the end point of dichromate titration by simple visual inspection of solution. So the redox indicator must be employed, which gives a strong and unmistakable color change. See, it is used in the determination of concentration of iron. So this is a reaction of when we are going to determine the concentration of iron. But this particular reaction will require the presence of acidic media. But due to the formation of green color, as iron is also having brown color, and this type of endpoint will be green color, we cannot judge actual endpoint of the reaction. So to judge the actual endpoint of the reaction, we have to add indicator, or we have to use indicator for this. Now this procedure has rendered absolute the external indicator method which is formally widely used. Now, the suitable indicator for the dichromate type of titration is, what type of indicator we are going to use for dichromate type of titration? N-phenyl anthranilic acid 0.1%, sodium diphenylamine sulfonate 0.2%, or can be used as an indicator solutions or used as an indicator while we are going to do the dichromate type of titrations. Now, the formal potential measurement show that redox potential of, sorry, so this is with respect to the uh, sorry, so what we have discussed today, just we will revise there. So today we have started a discussion on redox titration. Later on we have discussed the comparative meanings of the word oxidation and reduction. Followed by we have discussed that types of methods, types of redox reactions. In that, up till now we have covered serimetry and dichromometry. So serimetry, in case of serimetry, we have discussed that why it is known as serimetry, as cerium sulfate is used as an oxidizing agent. That's why this type of titration reaction is known as serimetry. Followed by we have discussed that some of the important points or some of the positive aspects of cerium sulfate as an oxidizing agent. Then we are going to have discussed that use of potassium dichromate as an oxidizing agent. Then our third type is oxidation and reduction processes in which the use of iodine is there, and this type of titrations are known as iodometric type of titration. Before we are going to move towards actually the iodometric type of titration, we have to learn something, that are you are going to find out the comparative point of direct titration method and indirect titration method. So this is an assignment for you today. You have to find out the meaning of the word direct titration method and indirect titration method, as well as meaning of the word residual titration method. One more is that what is the meaning of the word back titration method. So what you are going to